Hello, Nerd Family, and welcome once again to the Poindexter Lounge. I am Isaac Mon Kenobi, and I will be doing a live watch party of Arrow tonight. Tonight is a 2-hour series finale. The first hour is going to be interviews with the cast members, mostly Stephen Amell. And then the second half of the hour will be finishing off the story of the Green Arrow.
What turned us into heroes?
Beyond anything else, what's at the heart of Arrow is the people.
Being a hero is my purpose.
Family is exactly what this is about.
No matter how much crazy stuff has happened, it remains about family.
You put together a team of heroes.
It means something. You made it mean something.
It's chemistry, it's energy. Sometimes you just got that thing.
You changed my life in such an amazing way.
You gave me purpose. We're just getting started.
I was just ecstatic to be a part of the DC universe and to bring someone to life.
You have failed this city.
To be a part of something that's meant so much to the fans.
When you got to do something so amazing for 8 years of your life, you can only be proud.
My greatest legacy is this team. All of you have followed me this far, but I need you to follow me just a little further.
That's what heroes do, right?
Let's move.
I was blown away.
That's why we love superheroes. It's cool. It's just fun.
Really changed the game.
That's when the magic happens.
It's time to lock in.
My name is Oliver Queen.
I am the Green Arrow.
The name of the island they found me on is Leon. It's Mandarin for purgatory.
Well, it all came from, as pretty much all good things do, from Greg Berlanti. He had an idea for how to do the Green Arrow on television.
I've been stranded here for 5 years. I've dreamt of my rescue every cold black night since then.
It always felt like the Green Arrow had the perfect backstory for a TV series. You knew that there was an origin story that was happening on the island you could take your time with.
For 5 years, I've had only one thought: survive and one day return home.
It starts with
I'm
a
sorry, Corey,
tragedy.
but we cannot show the
Oliver's
screen
father
because if we
kills
do,
himself
we
in
get a
front of
copyright
him
strike.
and tells him to
And if
right
you get
his
so many
wrongs.
copyright strikes, you cannot upload any videos on the channel.
And we divide that between
I would
the
love to
island
show it, but I'm
and
sorry
then
that
our
we can't.
world and his return.
What's happening
When I
is
read
that
the script,
tonight we're doing a watch party.
Chuck, Tommy Merlin.
Pretty much what I pictured in my
Which
mind's
is pretty
eye. I
much
was really in tune.
we watch
When I first read the
the
pilot,
episode with
I
you.
feel like my
And
instinct
tonight is a series finale of Arrow. It's going to be 2 hours. Hour 1 is going to be interviews and pretty much just background story on the whole series, all the way from season 1, episode 1 up until this episode here tonight. And then the second hour is going to be pretty much
So you
the
had this
ending to the
character
story of
that
Arrow.
had returned from conflict and was mysterious, and you weren't sure, is this person good, is this person bad? And the show in some ways was kind of a discovery of human nature in that way.
And just no holds barred. This guy got off an island and had a mission. He was going just full steam
Raven
forward.
Steel,
Now I will fulfill my father's
Enosh
dying
Fett
wish.
and Tic Tac Steak have somewhere that they have to be tonight, and I am also the only person in the house that watches Green
To do
Arrow,
this,
or
I
Arrow.
must become someone else. I must become something else.
It was always going to be a grounded, gritty crime show with superheroes at the forefront.
Just tell me what you want.
We wanted the show to be action-packed.
You missed it. Really?
And mysterious, and have edge, and have heart.
How did he do it?
I thought that we had something the moment that I saw the first cut of the pilot.
I mean, I was blown away. I was also really excited to become a superhero because it looked awesome.
As the show evolved, when we started to fill out the cast, it really started to come to life in a big, big way, and you felt like, okay, wow, we really are realizing this comic in a way that we're all really, really proud of.
We opened up the storytelling in a way that hadn't been done on television before.
You failed this city.
We really tried very, very hard to push the envelope. Having the action be very visceral. The camera work had to be very dynamic.
Welcome, gentlemen.
We're doing anything we could to make it as cinematic as possible.
Where's the transmitter? Somewhere I can easily get to it.
Okay, that's enough.
We're a show about real people doing extraordinary things.
I don't know if any of you guys have watched Arrow at all, whether it's just a few seasons, the whole series, just one season.
People have
But
to care.
I've watched this series from the beginning up until now, and it is going to be one of my favorite shows. Not just on the CW, but
Characters on TV who
pretty much ever.
appear normal in a lot of
In
aspects,
seasons
I can't believe you're
one,
but also just have
one,
these
two,
heroic capabilities
five are my
really
favorite.
resonates with the audience.
The audience is gravitating toward multiple things. They're connecting with the actors in the roles. They're connecting with the story.
How about now
I
the
think that that's important
I
for
lowered the
people to
volume on the
see.
TV and I can't really do anything about the mic because I have the camera
You know, to be
kind of
for
far.
something that's impacting others in such a positive way. It's amazing.
I can bring it closer if need be.
And it's nice that a superhero show was hopefully so much more to everyone than just a show about people fighting bad guys.
Tonight's Arrow finale event is brought to you in part by Sprint.
I'll mute it since it's on commercial. I'm sorry if it's kind of quiet. This says you're such a wonderful fan. Thank you so much, Dr. Wardrobe. I will do that then, Mark. Morin. Do any of you guys watch Arrow, or are you guys watching it right now, or are you guys in a different time zone where it hasn't aired yet? Arrow over here. That's one thing I think is kind of, I wouldn't really say lucky, but I kind of like about the Eastern time zone. It's like we kind of never really get it early. I don't really know what's going with that. Hashtag spoilers, yeah. Man, but yeah, hour one tonight's supposed to be just interviews, background story on pretty much episode one from season one up until this episode here tonight. It's going to be everybody's point of views and pretty much the stories that they had from behind the scenes during the whole series. And then hour two is pretty much going to be finishing off the story. Yeah, this is going to be one of my favorite shows of all time. Because for me, it's changed. Stephen Welch kind of changed the way you look at like Oliver Queen in the Green Arrow, because he's not typically how Oliver Queen is in the comics. Is he kind of took a lot of things from the comics and then kind of like made it his own way also and combined both of them. Because in the comics, Green Arrow normally isn't the one that saves the multiverse or becomes like the leader. He's more of kind of like the support, or when he is a leader, it's of like a smaller group. Plus, I just love this. One thing I kind of love, like when I watch TV shows or movies, is just the symbolism or like the story that they're trying to tell, or like the meaning behind the story that they're trying to tell. And I feel like they've done that really well, especially with season 2 of Arrow when he fought Deathstroke. Yeah, after Smallville, I wasn't such a fan of the character, but after the show, I had a good feeling about him. It was definitely eye-opening. Yeah, and that's one thing I liked is right now we're actually watching Smallville, and I think we're on season 7 currently. So we've seen quite a bit of the Green Arrow. But it's like I like both of their versions, Here's back on.
Oliver is not a perfect hero by any means.
Where we began the series in the flashbacks, he went through some horrible, horrible moments and frankly made some really, really reprehensible decisions.
That's another thing that I love that they did on the series, is when the first 4 seasons, or 5 seasons, they spent pretty much doing all the flashbacks he had on the island. Which I thought that the show did really good when they went back and forth between the main story and the flashbacks. Because that's something that I really haven't seen from any show so far that I've watched. Thank you so much for joining us, Mark. If you like, we'd really appreciate if you liked and subscribe. But thank you for joining us tonight.
So Laurel Lance was the lost love, you know, and represented that for Oliver.
Nobody in my life is who I thought they were.
Plus 1 for flashbacks.
An evolution, a transformation. I mean, if you look at my character now,
Thank you
and
so
look at
much.
my character from season 1, I mean, talk about such a beautiful arc.
Final Laurel Lance, Your Honor. I'd like to file my appearance on behalf of the defendant.
Watching Laurel go from, you know, this pro bono lawyer who's a little damaged.
I'm the best me when I am working.
No, you're not.
You don't want to meet her. She's not good company.
To struggling with drugs and alcohol, and then losing her sister, hitting rock bottom, and then being able to come out on top and transform into a superhero.
Who the hell are you?
I'm the justice you can't run from.
I said they spotted us.
One of the inspirations we were always playing with for the show, because he's got a bow, is Robin Hood.
I don't want to go out like butchers sometimes, so what's the plan? Shoot straighter than they do.
We knew in building his cast of merry men that we wanted our little John, you know, that we wanted to, thus the name John Diggle.
When Oliver started on his mission, he never planned on having a team.
John, I have never done this without you. You're the one who keeps me in line.
We always felt Diggle was Oliver's moral compass.
Sounds like you have a narrow definition of being here. I think that
And that was one thing that I remember that I heard during Crisis that started to make me tear up is when they all got the news about what happened to Oliver during that final fight with the Anti-Monitor. And it's just like, Diggle says I wasn't there both times when he died, and I should have been there both times. I was his brother. So I remember when that scene happened, I remembered that that's when I started to tear up, and then later in the episode I was like, it pretty much just showed the aftermath of what Oliver created.
Felicity spoke. I'm Oliver Queen.
When we first saw the dailies of Emily in that classic scene with her and the red pen, we just saw a different side to Steven.
I know who you are. You're Mr. Queen.
No, Mr. Queen was my father.
There was just this chemistry that was undeniable.
Right, but he's dead. I mean, he drowned. But you didn't, which means you could come down to the IT department and listen to me babble.
Felicity was kind of like this safety valve character.
I should add personal internet researcher for Oliver Queen in my job title. Happily. I mean,
I think that what she brought out of him and that likeness really is one of the main factors that allowed us to build out my character.
I'm not gonna hurt you, Felicity.
How do you know
Remember
my
that
name?
scene?
Because you know my name.
You can only watch someone sulk around for so long.
Everything about you just became so unbelievably clear.
It was like, oh, this is gold, and it provided this whole other color to the show.
I always wondered how I react if I found my boss shot and bleeding inside my car.
It's really a testament to Emily because she started the show as a one-day guest star. It's incredible.
Your system looked like it was from the 80s, and not the good part of the 80s, like Madonna and leg warmers.
And once she entered the show, we were able to find comedy and humor and lightness in a way that we hadn't been able to previously.
There's so many intense moments on the show.
Surprise!
To break it up with some humor allows everyone to breathe.
Happy birthday. Everything hurt. Everything hurts.
If you can't take the time every once in a while to wink at the viewer, the pain, boss, the pain. You've got to lean into that a little bit
Reference to dating?
We're filled with meta commentary and Easter eggs.
It's a little Alien, a little Star Trek, J.J. Abrams style, and a whole lot of tech.
This guy's definitely got more than a subscription to Wired. His website's protected by some very serious encryption.
I think fans enjoy those Easter eggs and enjoy the meta commentary, and we're fans.
Like
We
the
enjoy
Arrow
them too.
cave was like that.
use a little
This is
therapy
what it's
yourself.
become now, and just how advanced the technology is in there.
Being it apart from the mask and the Robin Hood costume.
You mix things up enough that when the serious moments do happen, people go, oh, okay, all right. It's time to lock in.
Well, use that air magnet thing. You said that it...
Oliver, no offense. Do I tell you how to sharpen your house?
Stay focused, please. I'll be with you the entire time.
Thanks.
Well, I like to say that I'm the captain of the Olicity ship.
It's really getting living inside me. And by you, I mean your voice. And by me, I mean my ear. I have to stop talking right now.
That would be my preference.
The two of them are amazing together, even through all their bumps.
Oh, I meant to put it there, just leave it there.
I knew how much the fandom cared about their relationship.
Would you like to go out to dinner with me?
I'm being serious here, Oliver.
So am I.
That to me was the best time when they were just starting to fall in love with each other.
Would you like to go to dinner with me?
Yes.
Their relationship has blossomed, and to see the heartache and the love between them has really, really been special to watch.
I mean, what do we have to be nervous about?
Well, we've already exhausted every topic that one would normally talk about on a first date, and a second date, and a third date, and every date. Actually, and I've already seen you shirtless. Multiple times.
We're falling for each other, and we're heroes, which means one of us could die at any moment. And that's always been the challenge of their relationship.
There is one person in particular that I am grateful for. Someone that has stood beside me when times were darkest.
She brought out this part of him, a vulnerability, an emotionality that you really, I don't think would have seen otherwise.
She's the one who lights my way.
I think makes that the most important relationship that we've had on the show.
You.
Felicity. You make me the happiest man on the face of the earth. I do believe in magic. Yes.
Man, one thing I love about this, like the interview part and kind of like the behind the scenes and like recapping part, is just showing where the show came from. Is that like there's a huge difference just how the story was written from season 1 all the way up until now in season 8. And just even where it's come since then is it just started as Oliver, Diggle, and Felicity, and now it's become all of them plus tons of more heroes like the Legends and Team Flash, and now we have Batwoman and we have Supergirl. And we have all of the heroes on those shows, and it just started with this show after Smallville. I'm just wondering how they're gonna finish off the series, because like are they still gonna follow where Felicity goes into that portal at the end, like how she did at the end of season 7? It's like, did that change because of Crisis? One thing I've also heard because of following Mark Guggenheim and a ton of other cast members is said that the series finale feels very fitting, and a lot of the characters have a great ending. Yeah, I'm just mainly wondering how they're gonna do it. It's like they have so all this stuff building up, and it's like now you have to conclude it. Man, I'm just really liking the behind the scenes stuff in the first hour. I'm glad that they're starting with that rather than starting with the episode and then finishing with this, because most of the people are just gonna watch the episode and then not watch this if this was second. But I'm really glad they put this first. Yes, it is Darth Tasty. I figured since it was a series finale, and just how much I love the show, I figured that I'd do a watch party for this since one, I just love the show, and two, Flash doesn't come back until next week. But I'm really glad that you're here, Darth Tasty. Have you watched Arrow at all, or have you not watched it, or are you watching it currently? I think it's gonna be back soon. It's showing a commercial for the CW seed. No, not yet. Yeah, it's just one thing that I've loved about the show. It's like I can connect to the character personally, and just love like how the character of Oliver Queen and all of the other characters are written. And that's one thing that I've loved. They've continued to do that year after year and season after season. That's one thing that I'm like kind of sad about. It's like we only get half a season of Arrow when we've had this show for the past 8 years, and it's like we don't get a full 22 episodes to finish off the series. But with what they've done so far with the story, it kind of feels fitting that they're only doing 10 episodes. Because I don't really know what they do with 22 episodes, but I'd definitely love to have 22 episodes. Like there normally are. Just wait for this to get back. Yeah, pretty much before the episode aired, I made a tweet pretty much talking about like my feelings about the show, and just pretty much how much I love the show, and I tagged the CW in it. Hello, Bad Apple Duder. How are you doing tonight? I can't see you, Wookie. They can only see your back half. You wanna come over here? Here, come. Say hi to everybody. There you go. I think they can see you now. Yeah, they can see you now. I think it's back. Is it this time? Yep.
8 years has shown us this universe is far bigger than any of us.
They will finally get my lantern.
Oliver's mission is far from over.
And I love that statue that they're using.
With great power comes great responsibility. Right? So come on, Spider-Man.
Not really into comic books.
There was so much that excited me about superheroes. It was all so crystal clear when you're young who the bad guy was and the good guy was, what they were fighting for.
As the world becomes a darker place, people look more and more to heroes.
I think that when you humanize a superhero, it sort of holds up a mirror to the people watching.
This is Oliver Queen in this series.
Hopefully it inspires ordinary people to believe that they could do extraordinary things too.
You see these characters working through essentially human things
We gotta get into a hospital.
in the most inhuman of circumstances.
Everybody, at some point, especially, kids, want to be a superhero.
Yes, I am right now.
In our real lives, we need heroes.
I'm watching it live, but I can't show the screen because of
I feel like
the
comic book
copyright strike.
films and TV shows and
And that would
material in
not be
general
good for the
tell some
channel.
of the best stories about what it is to be human.
I'm uploading a GPS spoof, so it thinks it's already dead.
Great. I like the aspect of like, do what you can. But, it's still hitting straight for us.
Just keep pointing the IR receiver at the thingy.
I kind of hope that you can do it, that like, you can make a difference. I have perfect confidence in your abilities.
Thank you.
We're seeing people do extraordinary things
if
and
you-
yet
I
laugh
know-
like us, tell jokes.
I know that you can't probably watch it live right now, but I know if you download the CW app or go to CW.com, you would definitely be able to watch it tonight.
They're powerful in their own right.
Well,
And
right.
they
But right now, it's only the first half of tonight's episode, which the first half is pretty much just background stories and just interviews that they've had over the years, all the way since season 1, and then the second half of tonight's episode is pretty much going to be an hour of finishing off the story of Arrow.
Totally Fried is kind of my wheelhouse.
You'll probably be able to find the
When I
first
watch
half
the episodes,
on
I
YouTube
can't
maybe
help but
after
watch
this
this
is
man.
done.
Watching some of those episodes have been like so pumped to be like, I can't believe I'm on this show.
We have the best crew ever. It's so grand and spectacular, and it's so awesome to see it. It's really fantastic, and I'm really proud of us.
I don't know about that. You maybe have to look it up. But if you can, I think it's the CW.com, maybe? Or I don't know if you're able to download the CW app. Because normally they post
The editing is
the episodes
unbelievable on our show.
a few hours after it airs for the
Just
first
watching
time.
everything come together is just kind of lightning in a bottle.
It's also just cool. I think it's cool.
It's exhilarating to see it all fit together. You can't believe how good it looks when you see it, and all the lights and the music and the stunts and everything's all cut together.
And then you place the characters within that world, and it just sings. And when you have that harmony, that's when the magic happens.
Can't guard me.
Yeah, it's going to commercial. Yeah, so I'm not 100% sure if you can in England. How do you normally watch Arrow? Because I know it'll go to Netflix in a few months. But if you're looking to watch it now, I'm sorry. I could probably look up a way. Maybe find something. Prime and Sky Go. Yeah, I don't know when this is, like when the whole season's gonna be start to get posted everywhere. My guess would maybe be, I know the first half, like the first hour, I know will be on YouTube somewhere. Either tonight or tomorrow. Well, it's tonight here. I don't know what time it is there in England right now. Yeah, we'd love to show the screen, and I definitely would, if I could, like for everybody that can't watch it right now. But unfortunately, we'd get a copyright strike, so that's the only reason that we don't. Oh, season 8, just the finale episode. Well, the finale episode is tonight, and it's on right now. I've seen all of season 8, just finale. So guessing wherever you've been watching it, maybe you'll be able to watch it when it airs, like when it's been aired everywhere, or maybe you'll be able to watch it tomorrow or possibly tonight. I heard about this news about Kobe Bryant and his died in a helicopter, and I saw new Batman yesterday, Supergirl today. Yes, I did hear about that, Anakin Skywalker. This is very sad about what happened, and like everybody was saying, he's definitely one that's been taken too soon. And I am currently not caught up on Batwoman or Supergirl. Batwoman I'm just a few episodes behind on, but Supergirl I'm a few seasons behind on. But yeah, I'm definitely hoping that you're able to watch the finale very soon. Because it looks like it's gonna be really good. Especially just from the trailers, from the trailers it looks like it's gonna be mostly Oliver's funeral, pretty much paying respect to that character over the last 8 years. And it looks like there's going to be a bunch of other things that happen to finish off the series.
The physical demands have been really something. I mean, I got myself in crazy shape for the pilot because I was filled with adrenaline and I had nothing to do.
Dude was ripped up, man.
I don't know what the next Olympics are at, but you might want to think about signing yourself up.
He was like cut up everywhere. He had muscles everywhere. And I'm like, I'm supposed to be this dude's bodyguard?
Impossible.
It's really hot. I mean, not. It's not.
Like, for real?
How does he do this?
It's all in the core. The salmon ladder is a rite of passage on the show. You watch the pilot episode, Steve is there doing it, and looks, can I say badass? It looks completely badass doing it, and you're like, I have to try this.
I believe in you.
Ready?
One, yeah, 2, 3, go. I'm just glad that I can still do it after all these years.
I'm not a stunt guy. I can do flips and I can do fight sequences, but nowhere near as good as the professionals, so I kind of let them do that.
The fighting has been the funnest part of this show.
There's a lot of fight
My body
scenes
definitely
in each
transformed.
episode.
It was really felt awesome. It's good to know when you walk down the street, like, I could probably kick these guys' asses.
Thank you so much.
Your job, apparently.
It's been an interesting journey for me to
Yeah,
become
tonight's episode's going to be 2 hours, with the first hour being interviews. And then the second hour, or the final hour, is pretty much just going to be finishing off the series. I was really sad about Kobe and his daughter, along with other victims. Fishing away. Yay, majestic object from my house. Thank you, Darth Tasty. Yeah, I remembered hearing that, and I was just shocked. Because it was just, it's not something that you think about until it happens.
Our villains were very, very important.
Oh, you don't know who I am, do you?
All an integral part of our story.
I'm Damien Dark.
I remember the Damien Dark season, and it was just, that season felt slow, but the character was good. Like, if the season had a faster pace, that would have been a way better season.
I guess my invitation was lost in the mail. I'm only kidding. It's not my kind of scene anyway.
I think that any villain that thinks they're the hero of their own story,
Bad guy, remember?
is excellent.
What are you gonna do now, Oliver?
You've taught yourself some new
Hello,
Mike Robertson is a
RKDS123.
fantastic actor.
We are glad to have you
He's
here.
very subtle in what his performance is.
I expect you can find the most effective use for this corpse to, how did you put it? Send a message.
The calmness is a bit eerie, and it does suck you in because you don't know what's going to happen next.
What the hell do you want? Pretty simple, actually.
It's so hard to choose a favorite villain.
That is definitely true. It is hard to pick a favorite villain from this series.
Just because he's so unapologetically diabolical
Suffer for that.
and just deliciously evil.
Was you afraid of what I was gonna do to your daddy? When you were gone?
I just dug the way he played it. Like, I remember him being on set and his chair back was like it said the dragon.
I'm really hoping, even this week, Mark Guggenheim and the Arrowverse writer were teasing everybody this week, saying, oh yeah, they was going to get a fitting ending. We talked about this ending for years
The
now.
villain who had the biggest effect on
So
me
I'm
on this
hoping.
show is Prometheus.
You're never getting out of here. Do you understand? No, I don't.
And not to mention his music. The music that played every time Prometheus showed up just sent chills down my spine.
I mean, that guy was just level-headed. He knew exactly what he wanted to do, and he did it with such a calculation. Relax.
And that was one thing I also loved about Prometheus, is it was like, you don't really get villains that look like the heroes. And that's what Prometheus was on Arrow.
If I die,
So it was kind of like when the media saw him, it was like, was that Oliver? Was that
And I thought
Prometheus?
that was one of the cooler things that we did. We let him win.
Yes. I saw last week's episode, which was about Green Arrow and the Canaries was Martin Luther would put it as if a back row pilot for that show.
Your incompetence has
And
now cost
after that episode, I definitely watched
Working
that
with Manu
series.
Bennett was scary.
Fail me again, and yours will be the fifth.
You know, Deathstroke in general is a pretty exciting bad guy. Hands down, Slade Wilson was my favorite bad guy.
You could kill me, or not. Either way, I win.
I always look at season 2 as our best season, and it was
One
in
of my
no small
favorite
part because
seasons.
of Madame Banana's Deathstroke.
I'm truly sorry.
It took our series someplace else. It took Oliver Queen someplace else.
I don't know for Arrow since it's getting half a season. I don't know if they're gonna put it on there like maybe a few weeks from now, like they're gonna do with the other shows, or if they're gonna wait until all the other shows are finished and then air them all at the same time on Netflix. I don't know about that, but I'm kind of hoping that maybe in a few weeks we get it on Netflix.
Tragedy makes us real.
Just going out there and fighting alongside you guys. That's what makes me feel alive inside. And I love you guys so much. I love you.
We love you.
All of those tragedies were things that he had to overcome to become the person, not the hero, but the person that he was meant to be.
Molly, I know that I am not the love of your life. But you always be the love for it.
It's all the series is really just a sense of community and a sense of family and a sense of love.
Family is precious, and that it's love, in spite of everything, that makes it precious.
It's about second chances.
Lean in.
Yeah, that's true, Darth Casey.
Best parts of yourself.
Yeah, I'm just
I
wondering
think
if
it's
they do that
about trying to
like after
become
tonight, if
the
maybe we
person
get it
that
soon,
you feel you're meant
or
to
if
be.
they're gonna wait with the other shows to finish and then
This
put
is
them
all
all on there
about
at the same
us
time like we
wanting
normally
to
do.
do better than what we did yesterday.
And I will definitely miss Stephen Amell
Loyalty
also.
and truth
I'll definitely be
is within
supporting
itself
everything
is
else that he does, but I'm definitely gonna miss him as Oliver Queen.
You've made it mean something.
To be true to yourself and to be true to others.
When a city looks at it, it gives them hope out.
We have this team
Yeah,
of
that's
people
definitely
who will
sad what
fight
happened.
for you.
The truth is that we won tonight because I wasn't alone.
What do I think Arrow is all about? I think it's about
Yes,
a
it
guy's
definitely
hope that he
And
can
it'll
honor
hopefully
his
maybe
father's
get
wishes.
a lot more people that have never watched the series to maybe watch it from beginning to end, so the whole series will
Even
be
if
on
I
there.
had died tonight, it would live on because of you.
And the guy's hope that he can save his city.
I know that this city has been through tough times before, and we have pulled through.
And maybe find
I forgot about that when you were in
something
Summer.
for himself along the way.
And somehow, some way, we will survive this.
Man, 20 hasn't been a good start. It definitely has not RKDS, and we're only a month into 2020, so hopefully the rest of the year gets better. It probably will. But yeah, there's been a lot that has happened in just these 4 weeks so far. Man, I know for sure if John Diggle gets the Lantern Ring, or even if we don't physically see it, but we know that he's getting it, I know I'm gonna lose it. And then also, I already know the sad scenes. I'm most likely gonna tear up or cry. How are you doing? I'm doing really good. Thank you for asking, Stephen. How are you doing tonight? Thank you so much. Yeah. I kind of love like the behind the scenes stuff and kind of like the recap of the whole series, but I'm also getting to that point where it's like I want to see like how it ends. Mr. Green Lantern and Batman series, they're over. That would be really cool. One thing, I don't know if they'll do it, but I don't know if you've heard about that Green Lantern show that's gonna go on HBO. I think either in the fall or it's gonna come out next year. But I know we're getting a Green Lantern show very soon, and it would be really cool. But I don't think but I don't think it'll be likely that we get Diggle as Green Lantern at the end of this, and then that show is going to be Diggle as Green Lantern. Yeah, I also really want to see a Batman in the Arrowverse. I know it's one thing that Stephen Amell has been like pushing for years, but they haven't really gotten. Pretty much the closest he's gotten so far is Batwoman, but that's still not Bruce Wayne. I am new here. What's up, bro? Thank you for finding us. We're really glad to have you here. I'm also doing good. Thank you for everything. Oh, that's no problem, Steve. Do you have any comments on Kobe Bryant? I haven't really watched basketball. I haven't really followed basketball, but I know about all of like the great players that have ever played or are playing. But I know from like what I've seen from him is just he was an amazing player both on and off the court. I've seen a lot of his like commercials that he's done or like speeches that have been like kind of like inspirational because he always like he knew that he was good, but he always pushed himself to be better, and he always pushed others to be better. So it was definitely a shocker hearing about that. Okay, even though I'm not like a huge basketball fan, it still hurts that happened. Originally from Cali, and now I live outside of Philadelphia. Yeah, and that's what even made it even more sad. It was his daughter that was with him too, and she was just like beginning in basketball, and she was being taught by her dad. Yeah, I think all the videos I've seen so far are either paying tribute to him or just like putting the best like moments of his career like into a video. I think have just been phenomenal so far that I've seen. And I was watching this video last night about Sunday when that news broke that I think all of the games that night took a 8-second backcourt violation and then took a 24-second shot clock violation, both to pay respect to when he wore number 8 and number 24. And I thought that was really great of everybody to do. Yeah, it's definitely something that's gonna have everybody just shocked for weeks and months to come. Because pretty much there's a lot of generations that have either watched him or just looked up to him. So it's definitely a shock and just sad to a ton of people. Right, it's back on.
Once and for all, who would win? Me?
Thank you so much, Arcadius. We really appreciate that.
After about 1.5 years, we knew that we wanted to maybe begin to broaden the DC universe on the CW. And a character that I'd always loved growing up was The Flash.
Hey, secret identity?
I'm Barry Allen. And do your parents know that you're here? When I'm fighting you, it's literally like you're standing still.
It's tough talk. You ready to back it up?
We really approached the show from the standpoint of being fans first.
It's awesome to meet you.
Yeah, well, wait till you meet her.
We followed the model of comic books.
Hey, everyone!
When we do the crossovers each year, they become read on an exponential scale.
The Batman's an urban legend.
Wait, you don't believe Batman's real?
He's not real. He's an urban legend concocted by the Gotham Police Department to scare criminals. I'm the original vigilante, Barry.
This is fun.
Well, I guess I'm running alone. The finished product of watching them.
I would love to see Stephen Amell, Oliver Queen, and Bruce Wayne just interact at least once. Thank you so much, Darth Casey, for saying that. We really appreciate
how much people enjoy them.
As a fan,
We really
it
enjoy
was
what
so
we
much
do.
fun for me.
I feel like we would make a good team. World's finest.
It's cool to have new
Really
people
catch
come
up
in,
on
and it's
Batwoman
cool to
and Supergirl.
see what their stories are and how we can all tie them in together.
Getting to be on set with everybody in their suits and see everything come together and go visit all the other worlds is amazing.
It's an Arrowverse, so it's cool to be together in it.
And when you see all of the different characters from the different shows in one frame together, it really does make you feel like it used to feel.
Thank you so much for stopping by, RKDS. I really enjoyed the questions and comments that you had and responding to those. And I hope that you have a great night also.
The new Team Arrow.
To the tech guy.
Like, I love the new kids.
Yeah, if the same thing happens with John Diggle, if he gets a Green Lantern ring, I'm gonna have the same reaction that I did when Ezra
strong
Miller
and
showed up in
powerful and
Crisis.
diverse. And Mia does the same thing.
Let me guess.
I already know that now.
When OG Team Arrow anointed us version 2.0, you expected things to go a little better, right?
They've gone through this together. They both have their own struggles with their parents.
I believe that fate brought the four of us together for a reason. Just like it did our parents when they decided to save this city.
And with the legacy that is on their shoulders being that all eyes are on them.
Failure to comply will result in summary execution.
Wrong answer. And they make each other stronger together. Even if they don't always see eye to eye.
Hey, troublemaker.
I had it.
You're welcome. We're all trying to leave our own mark in the city. And do it in a way that's new and that's different, and that's us.
The Zingers are back online.
You think? You have her half-brother William, and you have Connor, and you have Zoe, and you have all these characters around her that are a personification of a team.
What's going on?
I remember when that thing happened, I teared up. I was like, wait, what
That
does this mean
moment
for
was
Crisis?
one of my favorite, actually, to film with Steven.
Oh my god.
It'd be really cool if I'm right.
I think to be reunited with a
But
dead
I don't
parent
know
you never
how
thought you were going to get the
much
chance to
this
see
will
again
affect
is
anything that we
incredibly
got. I don't know if this will be something
overwhelming.
small that we get now and don't get again, or if this will be something
To have a
small
second
now that's
chance
going to be huge
to
later.
do that and say the things that were left unsaid, I think is huge for him.
Technically, they
I'm
kind of
gay.
they tied both the DC and now the
I don't
Arrowverse.
think you necessarily realize the weight that you're carrying around with you if you haven't had the opportunity to stand in front of your parent.
We hope that you were come out to us when you were comfortable.
And tell them who you authentically are.
You clearly didn't get that chance. And that's on me. Sorry.
Even with Oliver having his flaws, he constantly wants to redeem himself for the choices that he makes.
For far too long, I judged you, and that was a mistake. I think that you're a good man, Renee.
That theme specifically kind of is a through line throughout. When it comes to guilt and recrimination, the life force behind me.
Arrow's really at the core of it about connecting with the
We
people
won't
that
this week,
care
but
about
we definitely
you
will next Tuesday when
Because I
Flash
think
comes
it's a
back.
path to redemption.
and help them grow as much as they're helping you grow.
Yeah, the rest of the week's gonna be pretty busy for us, and there's not really anything
Beautiful
going
for
on
me to
right
watch
now
is that we started with a character who was really, really broken.
That's why I thought it'd be a great opportunity to do Arrow tonight.
See the type of man you've become.
Since we know for sure next week we're gonna have a live stream for Flash when that returns.
Dad, I already have.
And I really feel like through his actions and through his causes and through his connections with other people, we've really watched him be healed.
I'm really proud of you, Dad. Not as
Thank
proud
you.
as I
His
am
name
of
is
you.
Wookie, and he's on for the chapter. We love him a lot.
It's time to...
Yeah. I know I want to see the finale, but I'm just not ready for this show to end. That was really nice, RKDS. Yeah, I just love dogs, especially Wookie. Oh, really? We used to have one, I think 8 years ago now? Yeah, man. So 10 more minutes of this and then the finale. It's like, besides the funeral, what else is going to happen in the finale? How are they going to finish it off? Are they going to write Stephen Amell in a way that he can come back? Or are they going to pretty much write it off where Stephen Amell can't come back? When is the finale? What time? Right now is the first hour of the finale, which is pretty much just like stories from behind the scenes, from an interview from everybody on the cast. But the actual like episode, like the story, like finishing it off, like the finale, is gonna start at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So in about 10 minutes is when the episode starts. I have to go, but thank you for having me. It was fun asking questions and getting answers. Well, thank you for joining RKDS. I really appreciated it, and I really enjoyed it also. Yeah, Andy, the finale pretty much starts in 10 minutes. Well, it was nice to have you, and thank you for getting that. Yeah, I don't know what time zone you're in, but yeah, we're in Eastern Standard Time, and it starts at 9 here for the actual finale, not just the interviews and behind the scenes stories. But yeah, I'm just really interested to see, because I'm not caught up yet on any of the shows, so I don't know, besides Arrow, like what the aftermath of Crisis is.
I can't believe I'm saying goodbye to you again.
Well, you're not. Think of it as I'll see you later.
There hasn't been one episode this year where I am.
My thoughts on season 8 is
somebody.
I don't like how the first half was set up for Crisis, but I like how they're sending off the character, and I like how they sent off the character. And I'm really interested to see how they end everybody's story.
The entire season is the series finale.
It's definitely not one of my favorites, but I think it's a fitting ending so far.
We think of the first 7 episodes this year as like a love letter to the fans.
Only about Queen.
That's what's been the first 7 episodes have been a love letter.
The way they did this season 8, is beautiful.
Welcome to Russia. My favorite American.
The episodes feel very cinematic.
I'm gonna miss him.
Every episode is a tribute to every single season. It's really beautiful.
Sweetheart, you are a hero. You are.
We also wanted to say one last goodbye to all the characters that have been so important to the series and to Oliver.
Why are you still doing what he asks?
If I'm wrong, then all of this is for nothing.
I feel like I've given more and felt it more than any other season we've done.
If the monitor can't fix this, if he is not here to help, then all of these things that I've sacrificed and all the things that so many other people have already sacrificed will have been for nothing.
Everyone's really brought their A game in terms of creating this testament to all of the seasons that have come before.
This is our best shot.
Suit up.
And a reward, a big pot of gold for all the audience that has enjoyed the show over this period of time.
After they explained like this season, it's like
because of the events of Crisis.
Go back to your question about my thoughts on season 8. It's like after they explained it, it's like yeah, they pretty much encapsulated the past 8 seasons and past 7 in season 8. Pretty much each episode pays homage to something different in the series, whether it's one thing, 2 things.
The person has sacrificed
And it's kind of like,
his life.
in a way, it's kind of like a recap.
It just felt the most fitting way.
I'm really hoping also. I don't know if you're on Twitter at all, but Mark Guggenheim's been teasing everybody all week by tweeting. He's saying that Diego Convinced is a fitting ending, and it's been one that fans have been talking about for years. And I'm just hoping. If we don't get it, I hope we get it like in a comic or like a reference later down the line. Maybe on another show.
This final episode is sort of a love letter to say thank you for coming along on this journey with us.
It's a tribute to all of our fans, and I hope they have enjoyed it as much as we've enjoyed playing these characters.
This city needs a hero without a mask. It needs little hints.
I hope that the fans that have been there from the beginning are able to remember different seasons that were their favorites and different moments that were their favorites.
Thank you all so much for doing this. Cheers.
Cheers. I hope that the fans are proud of everything the show was and proud of the way it went out.
Everything changed. The whole universe changed.
I hope that fans are left feeling satisfied, like there was closure after 8 years.
Man, I really hope this isn't the last time we're all in this bunker together.
And that they take it with them for a lifetime, because I know we all certainly will.
It does feel like the end of an era.
Okay, well, let's just try to think of it as the beginning of a new one.
I hope that they feel all of our gratitude that we poured into the story, into the show.
We're not gonna let the darkness win. So all of us are here to light a candle together.
This entire season, and I think more that last episode than any other, is a thank you.
I really hope they walk away happy. I just hope that they walk away going, okay, I'm glad I stuck around.
To OTA, Original Team Arrow. Sorry, I know you hate it when I call us that.
It's growing on me.
It's changed my life more than any other artistic thing I've ever been a part of.
Took a bullet for me.
It was a transformative experience for me, and I will remember and be grateful for it the rest of my life.
They were meta-human tattoo playing cards.
Now I'm part of this universe, right?
Still counts over.
For me as a comic book, superhero geek, it was just a dream job.
It will carry on your legacy.
Sounds like a cycle for good.
Far better than that. A cycle of heroes.
Anytime you spend a better part of a decade on anything, you just grow as a person.
Laurel Lance, always trying to save the world. Friends in the family.
We've been really fortunate. It's not goodbye, it's until next time.
I think there's so many different facets that people can really connect to with our show, and that have brought the fans through this journey with us, which is so incredible.
These are two of the most genuine people in the world, and they deserve all the happiness, and I'm so fortunate to call them my friends.
It's just been a beautiful experience to be a part of and to be around a cast and a crew, kind of like a second home.
This event warrants celebration.
It's very emotional. It's unbelievable. It's the end of an era. I am just glad that I found partners who I can trust.
That's what I'm talking about.
We're all feeling sad to say goodbye.
You can only be proud when you got to do 170 odd episodes of television.
Green Arrow popped up on our TV. He reminded me that this city is worth saving.
It's been amazing for me to feel like I've been embraced by the fan base in the way that I have.
I don't want to waste the time that I have left with him being angry. Do you?
Everyone involved in Arrow has such heart. Thank you for letting me be a part of your story. And has such passion for this story and really cares about making it something special.
If it's only for a little while.
Yeah, something tells me you're gonna create your own stories.
I'm proud to have been a part of Arrow, the show that's created a whole universe.
You are my family, son.
I feel proud, but sad.
You're a really good father. So are you. I have an example.
It's been a family, and now we're all going our separate ways.
I feel like I'm always asking you favors.
Anything you need, Oliver, always.
I think it's made for such a unique series that I can't imagine myself working on its kind again.
Listen, can never let a brother go into battle alone. I feel like I'll be failing you.
You could never fail each other.
Well, how long do we have? It's been everything to me.
You've always been my rock. Don't you mean the best man you've ever known?
I also mean that.
The friendships
I mean, this
that I've gotten the chance to make along the way
like
with
already
the crew, the cast.
anything that started yet.
It's been transformative in every way that you can imagine it would be.
Here's the finale now.
The past 8 years has shown us this universe is far bigger than any of us. Oliver's mission is far from over.
Starts now the series finale of Arrow.
My name is Oliver Queen. After 5 years in hell,
returned home with only one goal: to save my city. For 8 years, I've fought alongside brave men and women striving for justice. But then, a crisis came, and I had to become someone else. I had to become something else. I made the ultimate sacrifice, which helped birth an entirely new universe. Now my friends and family will have to go on without me. And although I have become a specter, there is a part of me that will always be the Green Arrow.
Both my children will live. Mom! What are you doing? Thea, I love you. Close your eyes, baby. No!
You possess true courage, Mother. I'm truly sorry. You did not pass that on to your son.
It's just such a strange thing to learn. That there's a whole other world, I guess, where I died. The people that knew my son best tell me that when Oliver sacrificed himself during the crisis, that somehow he's the reason that everything changed. That the world we're living in right now is a kind of gift from him. I know, I'm just trying to process it. I think we're all still trying to process it. Not only Oliver's death, but what he leaves behind.
It's a hell of a legacy. And not just a city of heroes, a world of heroes.
When I started this project, it was intended to explore the history and the pitfalls of vigilantism in Star City. I never thought this documentary would have to be retooled to be a memorial.
Nothing really ever happens the way you expect it to happen. And that was certainly the case with Oliver and his mission. He always said he would go it alone, and that the mission would never be over. I'm glad he was wrong about the first part. Heartbroken he was wrong about the second.
Thank you. That was very moving.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey, man. You all right?
Everything good? Why do I get the sense that answer disappoints you?
I just can't believe it.
Let's go. When Oliver rebooted the universe, he fixed things. Ever since the crisis, crime in Star City disappeared overnight. Literally. He saved the city. Come on, it's time.
Brocist. I don't know you speak Russian. Well, no, that's what Oliver used to say every time we drank this stuff.
What exactly is this stuff?
Vodka. Yeah, it tastes like turpentine.
Faint hints of nail polish remover.
So what's the plan?
I plan on getting as drunk as humanly possible.
No, I mean after the funeral. From what Dinah tells me, there's not much need for vigilantes anymore.
Lance's term ends in April. He's endorsing me to replace him.
As mayor?
No, as a bald guy with an attitude. Yeah, as mayor. What about you, D?
Mayor, for now at least, Lance actually just offered me a promotion to chief of police.
Guys, look, I know how this looks. I just don't feel like this is over.
Yeah, you're not reading the same ComStat reports I am.
We're a month out of this crisis, Dinah. And there's tons that we don't know. What I do know is this. Though Oliver's gone, his mission is far from over.
Finally. What the hell happened? Jimmy Terrell gave me a few problems.
Star City,
By a few, you mean a
2012.
dozen men armed with knives?
No, I mean 22 with machetes.
Well, you shouldn't be doing this alone.
You know, ready to go to the field, Diggle.
Yeah, well, when I signed on, I told you I was here to keep the body count low. That includes you.
I'm fine.
And Torello?
A little less so.
What's this?
Next name on the list.
John Byrne. He's the CEO of a beer company. He has a dude to deserve an arrow between the eyes.
Well, the company is a front. He's using his trucks to ferry a very different type of commodity.
Drugs?
People.
Human trafficking.
Where does this end? How many names are on your list? Too many to cross off. Listen, Diggle, this doesn't end. The mission is never over.
One thing I know that's true is, like, if you would have told me back in 2012 when the show first started that now in 2020 we'd have that he'd go from crossing names off of a list one by one, taking out these people that he thought were bad, and he went from that into now he's the Spectre and he creates Earth Prime. That one I wouldn't have believed you, and two that would have just blown my mind. That just shows like how much the character has changed as he went from I'm doing this by myself, I'm taking out these guys one by one, to now he has Team Arrow, and he's inspired a lot of other people just outside of him and Felicity and Diggle. Is now we have the Canaries and Mad Dog and everybody else that we've done so far, even outside of Arrow. Man. This episode seems like it's going by quick because we're already 8 minutes into this episode and it has only felt like 2 or 3 to me. I'm wondering, since it showed that clip at the beginning, does that mean that Moira is still alive? Or is that just a different, like, reality? Or is this Earth Prime, and that when he created this Earth, did he also change the events of how it functions? Because obviously, as they said, and we got last week, is there's been no crime for 20 years. So we know that that's changed. Just like, what else has changed on the timeline? Are any of you guys watching Arrow tonight? Are you watching it right now, or are you gonna have to watch it at a later time? Yeah, I don't really know what to say. It's finale one of my favorite shows, and it's been on for 8 years now. One thing that Mark Guggenheim had said is he said that we're getting a few more characters in tonight's episode that we haven't gotten yet in any of the shows throughout the series. So I'm wondering, is that just one person? Is it multiple people? And if so, who is it or who are they that we get tonight? And how is it going to affect the future of the Arrowverse? Looks like it's going to be back. Yes, it's back.
Hey. Sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. I meant to time portal to your front door, but I guess I overshot the mark a bit. This is a nice room.
Time portal?
Yeah, I'm a time traveler, remember?
Right. Okay. And why did you time travel here?
Episode
Because I'm here to take
the episode just started, but it says right now it's a 10 out of 10. Because it looks like they're tying it all together, piece by piece. And as we get the salmon letter with Diggle as kind of like the rite of passage, as they put it.
I should have tried this sooner.
Yeah, Gavin, so far I give it 10 out of 10, but it's just 10 minutes in the episode so far.
You doing okay?
I would definitely give it a rating at the end.
I don't think any of us are really okay, but it seems to be hitting you particularly hard.
I'm fine, like always.
You ready?
Yeah, let's do this.
And hello from the UK, Gavin.
What did Oliver call this thing?
He called it the Mark of Four. So how you doing?
I'm nervous about the funeral.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know Thea's gonna be there.
Imagine both of all of our sisters would be there.
I kind of left Thea abruptly.
Are you worried about an awkward reunion?
I can't remember what it's called, what they called it last year, but the
Well, hey,
Four
look at it
Pillars or
this way.
something.
After fighting the Miracuda soldiers and the Thanatos Guild, seeing your ex-girlfriend should be cake.
That's why I'm scared. I don't want her to be my ex-girlfriend.
So once Felicity get to town?
I don't know if she's coming.
It's her husband's funeral, man.
That's exactly why I think she might miss it. I don't know, Renee. It's just the nanny watching. Here right now, Felicity hasn't even made it out of bed. I have no idea how to help her. At least bring me for backup.
How many times are we gonna go over this, Diggle?
You know, with reverse financials, every month he gives over $1 million to this outfit called Black Armada. You know who they are?
Private security firm.
Former Special Forces?
That's right. Well, you don't think it's a good idea to bring a former soldier of your own?
No.
You know what I think? I don't think you really want me there.
No, thanks for finally getting my point.
I don't think you want me there because you're afraid I will stop you from committing cold-blooded murder.
You think that your goal is to keep the body count low?
There's a way you can stop him tonight without killing him. You can take him to prison. You see that justice is served.
Man traffics in human beings. Killing him is justice.
But at what cost? You say your mission will never end. Well, trust me, it will end a lot sooner if you lose who you are.
I'm really sorry about that, but this season has been really good so far. Pretty much how the whole cast is putting it is just kind of like a love
Don't
letter
worry,
to
the
the
monitor
fans.
didn't drop me
It's
off because there's
definitely
another
felt like that
crisis
so far.
coming.
Still doesn't explain what you're doing here.
Girl's sister showed up. Thought I might enjoy going to my dad's funeral.
And what are you doing with all this stuff?
Trying my best to channel my mom. Sorry. When Sarah dropped me off, she gave me this whole lecture about not telling people about the future, so. A few weeks before Sarah showed up, something happened. Right in front of me. I couldn't do anything to stop it, and I am already feeling it being the Green Arrow.
What we do is not easy. There are setbacks, there are tragedies. God, your father, he would be so proud of how you're carrying all of that.
I can't even do the one thing that he risked his entire life to do. Protect my family. Princess.
Arrowverse Archer protocol scans news stations for certain keywords.
William Clayton, the son of the late hero Oliver Queen, was abducted tonight in his hometown of Central City. The police have been unable to confirm any suspects in the kidnapping.
Man, so they gotta look for William before the funeral, and that's gonna be hard on everybody. Oh. Man. That's one thing that I've loved that the show's also done is they've given like that hero speech about being a hero is never going to be easy. You always have to make decisions whether you think it's going to be the right one or not, and you won't know that it's going to be the right one or not until you make that decision. And sometimes, like Oliver did, sometimes you have to make the tougher decision. It may not benefit you, but it may benefit hundreds to thousands of other people. Man. This is definitely a good episode so far, and it's definitely a good finale so far. Man, I'm just one thing I'm hoping as a longtime Arrow fan is I'm not gonna be disappointed if we don't get it because it didn't fit the story. It's fine, but as a longtime Arrow fan, I'm hoping that we get Diggle with a lantern ring, or at least it ends with like a lantern coming down and like giving a ring to him, or like the ring just showing up in front of him. Just even if we get something like that, it would just be awesome. Man. They said that now Williams has just been abducted, and right now they don't think Felicity's going to show up to the funeral. Which, if you've seen some of the set photos, it's kind of a spoiler, but we know that Felicity makes it. But now it's like, is William going to make it? Where's everyone? Tonight is just me because mainly I'm pretty much the only one that watches Arrow here. But also everyone else has something to go on tonight, whether it's outside of the house or it's just homework that they have to work on. So it's just me tonight, just doing a watch party and a review for the series finale for Arrow. Is it double-length episode tonight? Yeah. It's kind of a double-length episode. Is we still get the traditional like hour episode, but but starting at 8 p.m. here, we got the first hour, which is pretty much just background stories and interviews since season 1, and pretty much just everybody on the cast pretty much talk about how much they appreciate being on the show and just saying a thank you to the fans, and then just giving some stories that they had either on set or just final thoughts about the show before the series finale starts. What happens in TV? I thought it ended. No, it's not ended yet. Right now we're 20 minutes into the finale. We still got about another 40 minutes. I wonder if Tommy is live now. That's a good point. Now that Moira apparently has pretty much the events of some events of season 2 have changed. Now it's what events have changed from the other seasons, and that would definitely be like a heartache moment for everybody. It's like in season 1 we got Oliver mourning Tommy's loss at the end of season 1, going into season 2, saying how it should have been him instead of Tommy. So it would definitely be like one of those things where it's like, now he has to see Oliver's funeral. I'm definitely hoping that they do that, Gavin. I'm not gonna be upset if they don't, but it would be amazing if they do. Waiting for that supposed ending with a certain ring appearance. Me too. I'm wondering if that's the character that they're talking about that they're going to introduce in tonight's episode, or if there's going to be more characters that they introduce besides just one. Because Mark Guggenheim never really specified. He just said, oh yeah, we're getting more characters in the finale. So that could be ranged from 1 to 5 even. I don't think they'll do 5 characters in the next 40 minutes. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking we're gonna get the Lantern Ring because, one, Guggenheim's been teasing it, and two, during the interviews, like the behind the scenes stuff, that they've been saying that this is gonna be mainly like a long-time fans are really gonna appreciate it. It's back.
Hey.
Hey.
Look, I'm sorry about the way that I left. I just...
Ollie's just passed away and William's been kidnapped, so as far as apologies go, your timing's a little not great.
If you still think Oliver's mission's finished, tell that to William when we get him back.
We will get him back. John William was kidnapped outside of Star City.
I'm sure it'll make him feel a whole lot better.
Reached out to Felicity.
Yeah, me too. Radio silence. I asked her to check on her.
I haven't seen this many people down here in a while.
Yes, that is Thea's voice. Gadsden.
It's almost like a party.
I tried running a quad grade search
I
test.
got everybody
That
for the
array's
finale.
excited as it undergoes a firmware upgrade, but fortunately, when William moves to Central City, his overbearing stepmom implanted a subdermal tracking device into his arm. Ethical, debatable. Which went dark as soon as he re-entered Star City.
Well, that's convenient, at least.
Just 1 second as I worked up a statistically correlated list of possible locations he could be at.
That is a very long list.
Which is exactly why we called everyone.
Yeah, and even last season we got like that Easter egg about how Diggle's stepdad's last name is Stewart.
Oliver made the ultimate
So
sacrifice
it's
for
like
his friends.
they're giving us like
and
those
his
little
family.
hints, those little teases, whether they give across or
Now
not.
part of his family needs our help. This is our most important mission. Suit up.
Plus, that's the promise that Diggle made to Oliver, he's going to protect his family. And that includes William, his son.
Okay, well, he's not here. What was the next place on Felicity's list?
Cord Industries.
Van Wayne.
Alright, well, let's go.
Hey, can I talk to you for a second?
You already did back at the bunker, okay? I get it. You're sorry,
I never told you why I left.
and you don't need to. I understand you were going through a lot.
Dying, getting resurrected, gave me a whole new perspective on everything, including you. Yeah, I got my whole life back, and I realized that I wanted you in it forever, and always.
I thought it was really good, and
What does
it was definitely a good like background pilot for that series. And after seeing that, I'm definitely excited to see that series when it starts.
Yeah. Nice. I would have fired some shots in the air. Way scarier. So, how are things? It's been a while.
Yeah. Well, a while is what it took for these rags to work again. Since then, I've been fighting for justice.
To honor your father.
To honor Oliver.
We've had our differences over the years.
Yeah, I assumed.
Why?
Of everyone, you're the most like him.
Claire! Damn it!
What?
He's not here.
Curtis said there's a bunch of places he could still be.
We need to find him.
We will.
We have to find him, Johnny.
We will. Are you okay?
Oliver put our family back together. What happens if we can't do the same for his?
Lila, look at me, we can. And we will, I promise. We will.
You know.
Maybe is that one of the things that changed from season 1 is maybe there is one name that he didn't end up killing off from his list, and maybe that's who kidnaps William. What do you make of last week's episode of the Canaries? I thought it was really good, and that it was definitely a good comeback episode post-crisis. And it definitely set up the Green Arrow and the Canaries series that's going to happen. Yeah, the only thing that I'm wondering is, was that Laurel at the end of that I don't want to spoil it, but it's like, it's definitely good, and it kind of leaves you on like, okay, now I need answers, or okay, now I need to know how at least this story ends, which would be, of course, a season 1 for Green Arrow and the Canaries. Haven't catched up on anything post-crisis. Did they mention the Wonder Twins already? I do not know Infinity Geeks. I'm currently a few seasons behind on Supergirl, so I have not seen the newest episode of Supergirl. Well, the past 2 I think it's been since Crisis. And I am also behind on Black Lightning and Batwoman. So I do not know. I don't know if maybe that's something that they're gonna save for next season of the shows, or maybe that's something that might affect one of the shows this season. Whether it's something small where, hey, we introduce them now, train them up, get you guys to love them, and then now they're gonna go to this show, or they're gonna stay on this show, or maybe possibly, hopefully, they get their own show. But I don't know if they will with all of these other shows now, with Superman and Lois, and now Supergirl, and Batwoman, and Flash, and then now Green Arrow and the Canaries, along with Legends and Black Lightning, so it would be 7 shows. But I definitely love it. At least if the Wonder Twins go to Legends, I could definitely see them fitting into there. Oh yeah, I'm also getting Stargirl, so that's going to be 8. Thank you for reminding me about that, Brandon. I'm excited for that one too. So yeah, we're going to have 8 Arrowverse shows coming this fall. Well, I don't know if we're getting Superman and Lois this fall, but I know at least we're going to have 8 different shows, which is going to be a lot. It's back now.
I said, who are you?
You're wearing his hood, you should know.
That's really good to know, Gavin. I'm only a few episodes behind on Batwoman, so I'll definitely be caught up on that episode soon. But I'm a few seasons behind, maybe two or three seasons behind on Supergirl right now. So I'm currently catching up on that, along with the other shows when I have time. unless we get those close-up shots.
Failed this city.
Nighthawk. I'm definitely interested to see what that show is going to be like, especially post-crisis now.
My whole life ended right here.
I don't care. Final warning.
God, he was saving you. 8 years in Iron Heights never saved anyone.
He kidnapped my son. The man who spared your life. I should put this arrow in you right now.
What? After 8 years in prison, I got nothing left to live for anyway. Go ahead.
She does this movie as well.
No.
That
Queen didn't kill you, then neither will I. But your ass is going back to prison.
Yes, it does, Infinity Geeks.
This is the riser.
I'd love to
this
see him
is
in
the
Crisis, but I
Arrowverse.
feel like we didn't get enough of him in
This is the
Crisis.
Fatal.
That's really cool.
That. Yeah. Must be a lot to take in. Yeah, that's the understatement of the millennium.
It's not really a big bad, it's just more of just like somebody from season 1 just to carry on the story and just be like, hey, they're tying in all of the seasons in
Do you want
this
me
episode.
I don't know.
So it's not really a big bad.
She might be here, but she's also at home. Waiting for me. And I get to see her grow up. I'm not sure I want to rush them. Hey. Hey. Something in the news you should see. What?
William Clayton was safely recovered from his kidnapper, John Byrne. Apparently, the abduction was revenge for Oliver Queen bringing Byrne to justice 8 years ago. We have exclusive footage of the rescue. With Oliver Queen confirmed dead, we can only speculate that he inspired a new generation of heroes to carry on his mission.
Like I said.
Man, we're only halfway through the episode. It is 2:33 in the morning. Go to school at 7:30. Can't miss this. Man, it's 9:30 p.m. here. But yeah, there's only about there's only 25 minutes left of this episode, and then after I'm gonna be giving my thoughts, however long that's gonna take. I'm probably gonna talk about mainly this episode, but also just the whole series. Because this is definitely going to be one of my favorite shows, not just on the CW, but just one of my favorite shows that I've ever watched. Because Stephen Amell has definitely changed, for me at least, how I view the character Oliver Queen in the comics now. Not just Oliver Queen, but the Green Arrows. It's like, in the comics, he's not really that huge leader of, like, the Flash and Supergirl and Batwoman and Black Lightning. He's not really like that leader. He's more of, like, one of those characters that help out that leader. And Stephen Amell did a great job, I feel like, of portraying that. And just also just the symbolism that they put in every season. Whether it's just like a shot or just like a one-liner that they say that pretty much encapsulates the season. I just love seeing that. And I definitely love this episode so far. It looks like they've gotten pretty much every person so far, from Felicity to well, obviously Diggle and Thea and Roy are going to be in there, but I just love that you get to see him one more time before the funeral of Oliver Queen. I'm just wondering, how does this end, and how do they set this up for the future of the Arrowverse without the Green Arrow? Hello, Jeff. I'm really glad to have you. How are you doing tonight? Yeah, it's like, I kind of wish there was either like no commercials or it's very minimal. It's like it's a finale, but it's gonna be like a traditional episode. How it's gonna have a set amount of trailers. That's good. I did before I fell asleep. Weird Crisis. It was UK time. Well, thank you so much for watching Crisis. I don't know if you saw our reaction when Ezra Miller pretty much showed up and interacted with Grant Gustin. But like when all of us lost it and I was just like shocked. If we get that tonight with Diggle and the Green Lantern ring, I'm pretty much gonna have that shocked, just like stunned like reaction. Just like, wow, this is how the series ends and we get the Lantern ring. Well, yeah, I really appreciate that you watched it. And I'm really glad that you're able to watch it again tonight. Man, it's like nothing sad has really happened yet. It's just more of just, you know that it's the last episode and you know that Oliver's gone. It's kind of just like, it's just like tugging at your heart. It's like, oh, come on. What happens from here? Man. Oh, another commercial. Yeah, I'm just wondering what's going to happen here in the last 20 minutes. Well, 22, but by the time commercials are done, there's going to be 20 minutes left. Along with the last amount of commercials before the episode's completely done. Man. Yeah, it's like, oh, wait, it might be back. Yeah, it's back.
There you go. Don't use just your arms. Power's coming through your hips.
So that's everybody that's trained.
Thanks for the tip. Just get real good at that. Maybe I'll eventually take you out in the field. Bird didn't really have a good night, did he? He had a better night than you think. He's being arraigned in the morning. Plenty of people in this book that deserve to die. Plain and simple. Probably not everyone. Let's consider Mr. John Byrne to be proof of concept.
The people can be redeemed.
Then one day I'll be able to trust you.
Your mom let me in. Is it just me, or does the new Margaret seem to like me a lot more than the old one?
Yeah, she never really liked you that much. But in her defense, you were a criminal.
Oh, I regret nothing. If I never stole your purse, then I never would have met you.
That's true.
And even if you do say no to my proposal, which I really hope you don't. Loving you has changed my life, Thea.
If Ollie's death has taught me anything, it's that we don't have a lot of time in this life. As long as you promise, if you ever freak out on me like that again, you tell me instead of just leaving.
Yeah.
Well, then you're very lucky because we get a break like every 5 minutes, and then it's maybe like 5 more minutes of breaks.
Yes.
I will marry you for her.
But not like 5 minutes a day, but we get more like 10, 15 minutes a episode, and then a 5-minute break.
Hey, what are you doing here?
Looking for you.
Well, I was just looking for Dinah. I think she's ghosting me.
Do you have a second to talk?
Want to step into not my office? So, what's up?
It's about Oliver. Well, not exactly him, but who was sacrificed brought back.
Like me?
And Tommy. And Moira.
He is back.
But not me. Or the other me. You're Laurel.
Look, we don't exactly know the rules of this whole resurrection thing.
Yes, we do. You're all of the people who Oliver would have wanted his sacrifice to bring back. And Laurel, she would have been on that list too. If it wasn't for me. Oliver's death, it fixed everything else. Why didn't it fix this too?
Because, sweetheart, there is nothing about you that needed to be fixed. All right.
Dick, what's going on?
The end of the line. You're right, the mission's over. Just took me a while to accept that. I think accepting that meant accepting that Oliver was really gone. You know, Sarah said that before Oliver died, that he became something else. I'd like to think that somehow, some way, he's still here.
I drink to that.
As long as it's no more of that god-awful vodka.
Okay, cool. So, you're moving on. So what's next for you?
Lila accepted a promotion in Metropolis, so
Ooh,
Robin
Metropolis.
moved there after the funeral.
Is he gonna show up in the Lois and
I'm
Superman
not
show?
gonna take the promotion. There's just no point being police in a safe city. And there are lots of cities that still need saving.
And here I am getting to be elected in a few months, and you guys decide to move away. Kind of hard not to take that personally.
Don't worry, Renee, you are going to be a great mayor. Because you're a great man.
Learn from the best. Oliver. And the two of you.
Let's get in the lights.
We do not know yet because the funeral's not happened yet. It looks like they're heading to it, but my guess would be that Barry shows up. At least I think Barry will. I would love to show the screen, but sadly I can't because if I did, we would get a copyright strike, and that would not be good for the channel because if we get so many copyright strikes, then we just can't do anything anymore. Oh man, they showed the Arrow Cave shut down for one last time. But yeah, I'm really sorry that I can't show the screen, but I would definitely love to show the screen if I could. Man, I'm wondering what's going to do in the last 15 minutes. Because obviously we know we get the funeral, but how long is that going to take? Yeah, you pretty much explained it, Gavin. How YouTube channels work is if you get so many copyright strikes, you pretty much just can't do anything. You can't post videos, you can't do live streams, you can't do any of that. And if you show the screen, that pretty much just violates that. So I don't know if any other channels are doing that, but we don't like taking that risk of getting a copyright strike for showing the screen, or else we would love to show the screen. Man, is anybody else watching it right now? I know I've said this a lot, but I'm just not ready for the show to end. Was there any comments that I missed? No, it doesn't look like it. I know the sad part's gonna hit once the funeral starts for the episode. Yeah. I was wondering who's all gonna show up. Are they gonna pull like a Death of Superman type thing from the comics, where they get all of the heroes to show up, or is it gonna be first people that were close to Oliver and pretty much teamed up with Oliver? I wouldn't say 24/7, but like teamed with Oliver the most. I wonder if they're gonna show up for his funeral. Because obviously all of Team Arrow will. Looks like it's back. Yeah, it's back.
Thank you for coming. For a long time, I hated Oliver Queen. I blamed him for the death of my youngest daughter. I blamed him for the violence in my city. I interrogated him. I hunted him. Persecuted him. I've never been more wrong in my life. Oliver Queen wasn't just a hero. He was a good man. He was an honorable person. The fact that he didn't start out that way makes him, in my book, even more honorable. He stands as a reminder to all of us that anyone can change. So with this,
I just don't understand. If Ollie could fix everything, then why couldn't he fix this?
I think that Oliver could only change the things that didn't change him. And if not for your father and what he did for Oliver, your brother would never have become the man that he was.
I still can't believe Ollie's really gone.
I know, sweetheart.
I'm sorry to intrude, but I wanted to meet you.
My sister.
Oliver told me a lot about you.
I'm sorry that it took something like this for us to have you.
Yes. Enrico, you are welcome here.
Sky Barry has not showed up yet, but they're at the part where they're showing we know that's coming.
So you're from another Earth, is that it?
Tombstone.
I know, it's a lot to take in.
Well, I just found out there's reality where I was dead, so that's the curve I'm grading on these days. Laurel of, well, this Earth. She was my wife.
So it must be strange seeing me.
Yeah, well, strange enough to blow the curve. There's something nice about it, too.
My condolences with the husband's passing.
I had a marriage erased.
Feelings cannot be erased.
I had no feelings for him. Our marriage was father's perverse joke, meant to torment me.
Our father only ever meant for you to have a normal life.
I had lived a life far more normal than the one father designed for me. Hey. Thank you for coming. There's nowhere else I'd be. Sarah, this is my sister, Talia.
Hi. Hello. Talia, this is Sarah, my beloved. Yeah. Hi.
Hi. I know. This morning, you were teething. How are you? Oh.
Dad had a very similar reaction when he first saw me.
You met your father.
He trained me. He taught me to be a hero. How to be like him.
I can tell you're a lot like him.
I can only hope.
Felicity.
Very scary.
I'm so sorry. He was a good man. I was there at the end, and every day I'm tortured with the thought that I could have done more. Should have done more.
No. You did everything that you could, Barry.
How could you know that?
Because, I know you.
I'm sorry.
They're Supergirl now.
There is nobody down there, no?
No. We buried a casket full of mementos.
Does anybody want to say a few words?
I'm barely keeping it together.
I think that Oliver would have been worried that I'd say something tactless anyways, so. I don't know what to say.
Yeah. The words seem meaningless. It should be you.
The Oliver that I met 8 years ago is not the one that we say goodbye to today. Oliver always told me that in order to save his city, he had to become someone else. He had to become something else. I always thought that meant becoming the Green Arrow, but today I realized that meant becoming a better man. The best man he knew how to be. And he took all of us with him on that journey. He changed everything. Oliver brought heroes into the world. He inspired heroes. He inspired all of us here. I was his brother. And Oliver Queen was mine. Of course, life will go on. It always does. But how? What twists and turns it will take, I can't say. I don't know what the future holds. Except to say expect the unexpected.
That's where we get it.
Oliver may be gone, but his mission endures.
What's that?
That mission lives on. Oliver lives on in the people he inspired. Some will take that mission to the rest of the world. Maybe even beyond that.
Going back to Nibble.
Because if the past 8 years has shown us anything, it's that this universe is far bigger than any of us could have dared imagine. There's no return.
I have waited a very long time to see him. I'm ready.
Glad you could finally make it.
This is so nice. I don't have to complain. I just thought that the afterlife would look a little less like your old office.
It's my mom's office. I wanted to be where I first saw you.
Well, that would be in the IT department, some floors down.
You sure?
You're cute. Too bad, you know, Dad. Which is obviously a lot more for you than it is for me.
It's a long story. Lucky for us. We have all the time in the world for me to tell it to you.
Hey, this is Cole Sprouse. Catch a new episode of Riverdale this Wednesday at 8, 7 Central.
What does football mean to you?
Sorry for not reading the comments. I was just really focused for the last few minutes of the episode. Yeah, Gavin, I can't believe this is the last episode. It definitely was a fitting ending to the series. Is the Green Lantern scene over? Yes, it is. What happened in that scene, since I can't show it, it showed Diggle and why can't I remember her name right now? Diggle and his wife. It showed that they're moving to Metropolis, and they pretty much had everything packed. And Diggle was heading out with the moving truck, and all of a sudden he stops. Or no, he doesn't stop. He's about to go into the moving truck, and all of a sudden you see this kind of asteroid-looking thing pretty much slowly flying, and then he goes to walk up to it to see what it's going to be, and it comes down and hits him and flies him back up against the moving car. And then it shows, and then you continue to hear Diggle talk about wondering what the future holds. You get kind of like that collage of pretty much showing where everything goes from here. And then it cuts back to Diggle, and it shows him go up to what crashed down, and he reaches through the dirt and he picks up this box. And at first I thought he picked up the lantern that the lanterns used to power up the ring. But he opens up the box, and it's a green light, and we all know most likely what that means is that he gets a lantern ring finally. And since they're moving to Metropolis, that means that they're probably going to show up in Superman and Lois TV show. So even though we don't get it on Arrow, we definitely get to see Diggle as Green Lantern, it looks like. How did it end? It ended, the last 10 minutes, pretty much, was it had everybody at the funeral, and one thing I thought was interesting, though, that Donatoli said, they said, well, if you don't have a body, what did you bury? And they, Laurel or Moira responds with, we buried a casket full of mementos for Oliver Queen. And then Diggle gives this speech about Oliver and pretty much how he inspired all of these heroes, and then it cuts to Barry and Kara. And then he pretty much says the man that Oliver started as, and then the man that he became. And then after that, it shows, each scene, it shows Mia going back to the future. And then it goes back to the gravestone, and then it kind of like, the sky kind of gets dark, and then the tombstone kind of looks like it's kind of like faded away. And then it says Star City 2040, which, as we know at the end of season 7, means that Felicity is meeting with the Monitor to go see Oliver. So it goes back to that scene at the end of season 7, and the Monitor pretty much says, you know what I'm doing is pretty much irreversible, you cannot come back from this. And Felicity says, I understand. And she goes into the portal as her 2040 self, and she walks in as herself back in 2012 with the ponytail and the pink shirt and the skirt. And she's in Oliver's old office from Queens Consolidated. And she's looking around, looking where Oliver is, and Oliver is in the doorway of his office. And he says, I figured that the first place that we met in, well, the first place we met in here would be the first place that we ever met. And she said, well, I guess then that would be 7 floors down. And he said, are you sure? And it shows that flashback from whatever season they do in the flashbacks, and it shows that Felicity was in Oliver's office, pretty much talking to the photo of Oliver. And then Oliver pretty much says, that is a very long story for me to tell, but luckily for us, we have the rest of time for me to tell you that story. Pretty much just showing that Oliver physically died in Crisis, but he's somewhere else now, like, kind of like his spirit almost, is he's somewhere else outside of the Arrowverse. And now that's where Felicity went in the future in 2040. I thought Dick would go to the Flash. He would fit really well in the Flash, but I'm kind of thinking that they're gonna use the Superman and Lois show to say, hey, you liked Diggle on Arrow for 8 years, maybe you'd want to see more of his story here on Superman and Lois show. So Felicity committed suicide? Not really. She more of just vanished. She pretty much went to go live out the rest of her life with Oliver, which is pretty much what she wanted. Or pretty much what they wanted at the end of season 7, before the Monitor went to Oliver and said, it's time. Pretty much saying, Crisis is coming, you need to help me like you promised. She got a free pass to Oliver. I could skip the line, she kinda isn't dead. Yeah, you pretty much said it really good there, Apollo. I thought John was going to do a Superman show when he said Metropolis. I'm thinking so also, since he said Metropolis, because Supergirl doesn't take place in Metropolis, but as we know from the comics, that's where Superman is. So it's very, very likely that Diggle's gonna go to that Superman and Lois TV show. Yeah, the ending was perfect, honestly. Yes, it was Irving. That's one thing I was kind of wondering, is everybody's saying it was a fitting ending, but everybody that was saying it was a fitting ending was somebody that worked on the show, so obviously they're gonna be a little biased and say, oh yeah, this is great. But it truly was. We got to see almost every major character over the past 8 years showed up in this episode, and it pretty much just encapsulated what Arrow is. Do you think anybody will go to Flash from Arrowcast? It'll be very likely. I don't think right away somebody will go from Arrow to Flash, but I think definitely a few years from now, I see maybe like at least one person going to the Flash. Mad there wasn't Deathstroke, but other than that, perfection. Yes, it would have been amazing to see Deathstroke for one last scene because, as we know, he's still out there. He's not necessarily bad anymore, but he's still out there. It was great. Like we did crash and burn. Yes, I'm very glad about that. That this episode wasn't like, oh yeah, it was really good, but this is how it ends. It was more of like, it was rewarding for the past 8 years. Deathstroke did not turn up. Did I like the episode? Yes, I loved this episode. I thought it was a very good finale. Yeah. Diggle finally got the lantern ring.
He did?
Yep.
Nice.
Did he really?
And he's moving to Metropolis.
Nice.
Sweet.
So he'll probably guest star on the Superman.
Yeah, the Superman and Lois show.
Awesome. We'll have to
as a lantern,
rewatch that episode ourselves.
Yeah.
Say what? We got a real Green Lantern in the Arrowverse?
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's one thing that everybody's been wanting for a
Oh
long
yeah.
time now.
Well, I did see not to crash your thing because I got stuff to do, but I did see an article with the guy who plays. Oh, hey, one. The guy who plays Diggle.
Yeah.
And they were asking him about that very thing, and he said, somebody's excited that Dad's home. They were asking him about that, and if something was going to happen with that, and he said that that we would get an answer to all that, and that it would definitely be satisfying.
Yeah.
Satisfying to everybody.
Yeah, I remember Mark Guggenheim, he retweeted that story at the beginning of the week, pretty much saying that it's been something they've been talking about for years. And everybody's going to be satisfied with his ending, which it definitely was.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's good news. That's good stuff. So I wonder then if he's going to be on the I wonder if they're going to connect that with the Green Lantern, like if he'll just be the Green Lantern in the Arrowverse, or if they're going to connect that with the new show on HBO Max.
That's one thing I was thinking before Arrow started is maybe what if, because we don't know what the HBO Green Lantern show is going to be about, so I was like, is it going to be maybe Diggle gets the ring at the end of this, and then maybe the show's going to be about him? But now that he's moving to Metropolis, that means he's probably going to go to Superman and Lois.
Yep.
And show up on there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, Irving said the ending shouldn't exist, though, because the reality was deleted due to Crisis and Earth Prime. Yeah, one thing we learned in this episode is Oliver pretty much changed everything that didn't affect him for the good. Like there was a handful of characters that died like throughout the series, and they ended up living because of the new Earth that Oliver created. Pretty much just some events changed from the past. Like in season 2, Deathstroke ended up killing his mother.
Okay.
But he changed that to where he pretty much stops Deathstroke from doing that, so his mother ends up living.
Okay.
And then at the end of season 1, his best friend Tommy ends up dying, sacrificing himself, and he ends up reversing that to where Tommy lives. Pretty much giving everybody like what they've wanted. Pretty much so because he's not there anymore.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And then we got an answer to the end of season 7 when Felicity went into that portal in the future. It's pretty much she walks through the portal and it goes back to 2012 when she's in Queen Consolidated in Oliver's office, and Oliver has been there the whole time waiting for her, and he pretty much says that he pretty much has this long story to tell her, but he has the rest of time to tell her now, pretty much showing that he physically died, but pretty much like his spirit didn't die. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna have to watch this episode.
Yeah.
And then we'll have to do a breakdown video maybe.
Yeah.
Just talk about what's going on.
Yeah. So Irving said so. Felicity wouldn't have left 2040 because the future changed. At the end of the episode, we saw that the interaction between her and the Monitor that we got at the end of season 7. So it shows that didn't change from this new Earth. What about Diana? She said she was moving to Metropolis 2. What about the spin-off show? I don't know if you watched last week, so I don't really want to be a spoiler if you haven't watched it. But she pretty much explained what happened after the funeral, what happened to her, and why she shows up in 2040.
Cool. What's up, Darth Tasty?
Yep. Darth
Thanks,
Tasty's
man.
been here since the
I know,
first
man. He
episode.
knows his stuff for sure.
Do you see that? I got 2040 this episode. Yeah, we didn't see that Diana went 2040, but we know from last week's episode that she ends up going there.
So did he just? So I mean,
Yeah.
because I'm gonna watch it, but like, so did he just have the ring, or was it like something that like the Green Lantern Corps shows up?
No, what it is it shows that he's getting ready to move out of his current house, and they have everything packed, and he's about to drive the moving van to Metropolis. But before he takes off, you see kind of like this asteroid kind of like slowly come in, is what it looks like, and then he goes over to see what it's going to be. Ends up crashing down, knocks him back, and knocks him out for a minute. And he comes back up and he looks and pretty much looks through the dirt to see what crashed down, and he picks up this little box. So at first I thought it was going to be like that lantern that the lanterns use to power up the ring.
Yeah.
But then he opens it up and you see this green light. So it's like everyone's assuming that it's going to be a lantern ring. Because it came from space.
So we didn't actually see a lantern ring.
No. But we saw that green light. We saw it come from space. Yeah. What did you think of the statue?
But I don't know. I gotta see it.
Yeah.
I gotta see it to
Yeah,
properly.
we better to see it.
Yeah, I gotta see it to properly think about, because I don't know how I feel about that thing. Because like when the ring chooses you, it chooses you.
Yeah.
Like that's
well,
the whole
it
point.
also landed like right next to him. Like it was like right by him, like right in front of him.
But like if you don't get a lantern, you can't recharge it.
Yeah.
So you gotta have a lantern, and it has to be given to you. I mean, basically, and then you'd have to be brought in by the Green Lantern Corps.
Yeah.
Because it has to be explained to you, you know.
Yeah, that's probably something that we'll get in one of the shows.
So you didn't get to actually see him in a Green Lantern outfit or anything?
We just see that he ends up getting the ring. What did you think of the statue? I think it was really cool.
Alright guys, I'm gonna check out. I have not eaten in like so many hours, and I need to eat. It's like I need my own lantern to recharge.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, thanks for holding it down tonight. This guy, right? He's the future of the channel. All right, guy. See y'all later.
But I think the statue. I'm really glad that we got a statue, because we saw at the end of Crisis that obviously Barry left a chair for him. So it's kind of like we got something like to hold on to for Oliver, but we never had like a statue or something like that everybody can see. Kind of like how we got a statue for Laurel after she passed. So I'll rewatch the episode again. Russian, because the previous episode showed 2040 changed. And Earth 1 is newer. So all that history is different based on this feature. Yeah, it's something that they might explain in Green Arrow and the Canaries, is how Felicity still met with the Monitor in the future. Because that's a good point, Irving, that now we have Earth Prime and not Earth 1 anymore. And we know that Oliver changed a lot of the events from his past. Why is there still a Monitor in 2040? Because he died in the Anti-Monitor in 2020. Yeah, that's a very good point, but I know it's something that they'll hopefully explain, or I know at least Mark Guggenheim's going to be tweeting about it, pretty much filling in anything that they probably missed while writing the finale. 2040 Monitor should not be able to access the future, also because we're going to go past 2019, so that's just a plot hole. Yeah. How would you rank this season? How I'd rank this season. I'm trying not to view it as like oh, it's the final season, so it's gonna be higher up. Season 2 is my favorite season, and then it goes to season 1 for sure. But I'd say it's probably tied with season 5 for me, just like story wise. But I know this is like after processing the finale, it's gonna be definitely higher up or maybe lower down now. When thinking about it for a few days, maybe a few weeks, it's gonna probably go higher up on that list. Yeah, the season was definitely good. At the beginning of the season, the first episode kind of felt a little bit slow, and it was kind of like, okay, so the first half of the season is going to be pretty much set up for Crisis, and then you get Crisis, and then what after that? Which it was more only the first few episodes were set up for Crisis, and then we got Crisis, and then last week's episode was a backdoor pilot for a new show coming out called The Green Arrow and the Canaries, and then kind of tonight we pretty much got the closure for the series, and then showing where each person will be going from now on. Yeah, thank you for joining us tonight and watching this and commenting and asking questions. Yeah, wait, one last question. Which moral did we get, original or Black Siren Laurel? We ended up getting the Earth 2 Laurel pre-Crisis. Because that's one thing when she was talking to Quentin, that she was talking about how she brought back Quentin, she brought back, Oliver brought back all these people, but he didn't bring back the original Laurel. He left the Laurel that was there before Crisis. So that's pretty much, yeah, we got Earth 2 Laurel right now on Earth Prime. And that's the same Laurel that's going to be in the Green Arrow and the Canaries. Was there anything that I missed before I end it? John as a Green Lantern, possible fall series. I don't know, we haven't gotten an announcement on it, and we pretty much just got this tonight. But one thing that they did say is that they're moving to Metropolis. So pretty much the thinking right now is that they'll show up in that Superman and Lois TV show as maybe like a minor character to the series, or at least the first season. But I think he might be Superman add-on. He probably will, if he showed, depending on what happens between the time difference between this series finale for this and then the series premiere for Superman and Lois. Yeah. But what did you guys think of the series finale for Arrow? What did you think? Final fight scene, most perhaps the best fight scene in Arrow. I don't know if it'd be the best final fight scene, because I really like the Dark Archer final fight scene, and I really like the Deathstroke final fight scene in both seasons 1 and 2. But I also really liked his, even though it's kind of quick and we didn't really get much, I also liked the final fight scene we got during Crisis. It was really good. Season 1 again. Yes, it did. It just kind of feels like they went through every season piece by piece. Just pretty much either like retelling it or just showing how it has affected the other characters in the series. Yeah. What did you guys think of the series finale? And do any of you guys watch Arrow? Have you just started Arrow? Are you finishing Arrow? Yeah, thank you for watching tonight and leaving comments and asking questions.